Arr, let's do this. Gimgagi, everybody. Alright. Nice and cool, nice 71 degrees. So, I was raised Presbyterian, and somewhere around 15 years old or so, I was baptized Southern Baptist. The day I found Amy Grant, was she a very attractive woman? Don't ask me why I brought that up. Anyways, so I went through life and I kind of went through processes of trying to understand what spirituality is, and you know what I honestly believed rather than what was being told to me. And I kind of processed out the religious end of it, but then was able to make my own understandings of where the biblical sense of religion stories came from. And I'll just say one is, you know, Jesus fed, 5,000 people with like 2 fish and 2 loaves of bread. And I said, well, remember the Bible was written by somebody else, not by Jesus. Jesus came into the town and saw all, people needing to be fed, and he took out 2 fish from his pouch and a loaf of bread, and the guy next to him saw that he was giving so much, and he took out 3 days of rations that his family would eat, and so on and so forth. And the onlooker that saw this whole transition said, Jesus fed 5,000 people with 2 fish and a loaf of bread. Not unheard of in today's language is, we see kindness being given, and then all of a sudden you feel kinder to pass on that energy, and we'll come back to that. So I transitioned out of let's say spirituality, the biblical sense, processing through life, trying to understand what it's about, what to do about that, how to make an impression or an everlasting mark on this planet. It's hard to say what's going to happen to us when we finally take our last breath. But I found out yesterday what does happen to us. Do you remember as a child, whenever you would go by a cemetery, you would have to hold your breath? I was never good at that. So it's always been a wonder of mine of what happens to me when I die. And I think I'll get to the end of it at the end of this video. So today, sorry, so rude of me, we're gonna get to this Pirate Cake by Cornell and Dio. Arr! Reason why we're doing Pirate Cake today that thing happened in 2020, and there was a couple of ways that you can get out of taking the root beer float, or the kamikaze cocktail, whatever. And I was trying to look for a religion that I could actually say, hey, I don't want to take it, because that was the only other thing. You had to be pregnant, it had to be religious, and I don't even remember what the third one was, but I said, hey, religion. So I found this amazing religion. I found it so amazing I became an ordained minister. December 27th, 2020, of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. So here is my gospel of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. And the reason why we came here today is to talk about what happens to us when we die. And if I followed my religion, we die and we get touched by the Flying Spaghetti Monster's noodly appendage, and we go to this other world where there's volcanoes that pour out beer and a factory of women that are promiscuous. What a better religion. Now, if you were bad, you'd go to the other side of the island where there was a volcano, and it had flat beer, beer that has no fizz, in case if you didn't know. And the ladies of the evening all had STDs. Not bad. But on the straighter point here is, I found the religion entertaining, enjoyable to read. It gave me a lot of laughs of reading the book. And you can go do your own research about how the Flying Spaghetti Monster, the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, came about. It's a relatively new religion. I believe in 2002, I think. I'll take pictures of this, but they have a coin made for you to carry in your pocket. And when you talk about the religion or preach it, you're supposed to talk in a pirate voice. I found out I don't have a really good pirate voice. Practiced all morning in the shower this morning. I didn't wear a hat today because I said, oh, I'll just wear a pirate scarf. So I thought today, for my religion and where we go when we die, or where I go when I die, I thought pirate cake would be the appropriate tobacco. I like these. Let's hear if we can get it. Ooh, hoo, hoo. It smells just like the fire pit the morning after a nice fire at, a campground. There you go. It's a Musang pipe. Army matey. Har, har, har. Good times. I made a connection with Navy flake pressed into a cake. Pirate cake, it's another ship. Got to compress it. Save space, save room. While I was packing this bowl, that's what I was thinking. Cake falls apart real easy in the hand by sight. It's cool. Skull and crossbones. You know, I give it a 3 out of 5 maybe. Let's go over this. A smooth, robust blend which locks 75% of exceptional Latakia, accompanied by Turkish and burley, a Latakia lover's treasure. So it's pirate cake. Let's light it up and see what it is. It's my first time having Latakia. Not bad, actually. It would be a nice campfire smoke. I wouldn't smoke it inside. If I was to die right now, it would not be my first choice. Like if they asked me, you know, would you like to have a last cigarette, you know, would you like to have a last pipe? Or you got to walk the plank? Maybe I would. Nostalgia, you know, it's not bad. Definitely would probably age well because it would knock off some of that Latakia hit. I really came into this thinking that I wasn't going to like it, but I actually do. It's actually a pretty good, pretty decent tobacco. So sight, the tin looks good. You got to see it there. You know what the pipe is. There is some deep, deep tobacco notes in it. Again, I'm not a reviewer. I'm just a guy that enjoys smoking a pipe in the last year. I would highly suggest anybody to get 1 tin of it. It's not going to be, to me, my daily smoke. So the reason why I came out here today was to talk about where we go when we die. And I thought it was an interesting seeing what other, you know, we know the religious one is you die and you go to heaven, and you know you interact with the guy before you go in through the pearly gates, and you know, we live our best life there, and this is hell and this is whatever, and if you're bad you go to hell and you live there. Yeah, I just started to look at the scientific process of dying. Not me, actually scientists have come up with, is that everything in this planet that we live is energy, and it lives in just different forms. If you eat an apple and the apple gets, you know, digested into your body, and then you excrete it out through your bowel movement, it goes through the city sewer, it gets you know, processed and then made into manure or whatever. Wherever your poop goes, that apple continues on, but just in a different form. We as humans are negative and positive energy, and you cannot get rid of energy. Energy becomes something else. You burn a piece of wood, it transitions into a gas and it goes into the atmosphere. You can't get rid of it. So if you ask me personally, Blake, where do you think you go when you die? I give the answer is, I don't care, I'm dead. And this has been changing and evolving over 50 years now. Some of us live a day, some of us live, you know, 130 years. I'm not afraid of dying, but what happens to me after death, I don't care. Burn me. I don't really care what happens to my physical body. It will decompose. 50 years, all of us are going to become ashes anyways. We become part back of this earth. And so where we go when we die, my personal belief is, you know, reincarnation just makes sense. Energy gets reincarnated into something else. If you die and, you know, this man, Mr. and Mrs. Blake, you know, there's a tree behind you, and they're now part of that tree, or they're part of this grass. You have your own belief and I have mine. Neither one of us is wrong. I don't know. Think about it today. Think about it tomorrow. Think about it on whatever your religious day is. What do you think? Put it down below. I'm just going to tell you, you're watching my video, you got plenty of time to waste. Go look up the Flying Spaghetti Monster just real quick. It's
well worth your time for a good little giggle. See, it puts a smile on my face. Go check it out. Oh, I forgot this part. Yeah. Let me go down this one. They say you die if you die in your dreams. I had a dream 30 years ago, and I was a military man, probably back in World War I, digging trenches. No, it would have been World War II, because I think it was like a German soldier. And I was in I guess they call it a foxhole or a trench. He just came up, jumped down, put a gun right to my head, shot me. I did not wake up. I literally felt like I was a spirit, and I came out of my body looking down at me. And that's when I woke up. But it felt like it was like I watched myself for a minute where I was just dead. So you don't die in real life if you dream about it in your dreams. Hopefully I sparked something in you. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you back on the bike.
Worrying about like what happens to us, and I don't want to die alone. We all die alone. So I'll just end with this one. My grandfather, Bompa, I asked him what the meaning of life was once while him and I were walking back towards his house up in Pennsylvania, and I asked him, I said, Bompa, what's the meaning of life? And he looked at me, and he looked back at the ground and looked back at me, and he said this. You know, I had just bought a brand new truck, and I was all excited to show him, and he had never driven a new vehicle. He'd always bought all of his vehicles used. And he goes, you know, this conversation that you and I are having, the girl that I was with, he goes, the experiences that you have with her, the relationships you grow and become a part of. He goes, some come and some go in life. So he goes, it's going to be your experiences in life of what it's all about. I think some of us put too much emphasis, especially as we age, we start to think about death more. And I go, why continue to think about death? Think about what can we do today to put a mark on this earth and make it better. Because that was the ending point of what my grandfather was basically saying, is live life, enjoy, embrace, eat good food, have good conversation, hug, kiss, fuck, you know, do those things that bring joy and happiness, because the suck is coming. The suck will always be there, and that's part of life. But the enjoyment of life is part of those, you know, those sucks. You know, some of my worst times in my life so far have become some of my best. You know, not exactly, but you know, I've found the better in life with those sucks. And are you going to see me? He doesn't care about the traffic light he has to stop at. So get out there and do something today. Don't worry about where we're going. Embrace the suck. Hey kids, don't walk in wet grass. Your feet will stink by the end of the day. Alright, that just freaked me out. I just thought I heard somebody say Blake. It's like a female voice from behind me. That was a little too crazy.
Blake, what the hell are you doing a video in a cemetery for? God, my ass hurts. I just want to be a plaque, maybe. A bench somewhere. I haven't figured out where. If I died today, kind of sucks, but burn me. Do whatever you want with whatever I have. I don't care. I'm dead. Where do I want to get put when I die? I'm going to leave this long pause in, and I'm going to think about that on my ride home. Where I want to have a bench put. Or not a bench, I just need a plaque put onto a bench. Here's an advertisement. Hi, my name is Blake. I'm here for your entertainment. If you need to be married, you need to have funeral ministries given, I'm your man. Respond to me down below. I'm for hire. Oh, you can also reach me by blakespipes@mail.com. Do I go over this in this video? Yeah, sure, let's go over it. So let's go over age. If I died today, how old am I? I just said 50, right? No, I'm living my 51st year on this planet. So I'm literally 51. I've already lived 50 years on this planet. I lived my 50th year. That was last year. I'm living my 51st year on this planet. Sorry, ladies. When you think you're turning 30, you're really turning 31. You already hit 30.
He let me take pictures of him yesterday. Love you, Bompa. You're stupid, Blake.